What's going on, YouTube world? Spirit Wolf Gaming here. How? I have a guest with me today. Hello, Linda. How you doing?
Good. How's it going, Spirit?
Oh, I'm all doing all right, doing all right. Today's topics are wrestling entrance themes from the old days up till now. Plus, we might throw in a little talk about wrestling toys. How's that sound to you, Linda?
I'm cool with that.
You down with the clown?
Heck yeah. My
All
time
right.
is now.
Easy there, John Cena. We can't see you.
Oh, we're talking about 90s. My bad. Sorry.
Hey, we can talk 90s, we can talk current. Hell, we can go back to 1980 and 1970 if you want.
I
You
am
know?
unstoppable.
But first first right out of the gate, I want to say this very much, Linda. It's always a pleasure to be around you. You know this very much, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me today.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to help out a friend.
Mm. All right, with that being said, first wrestling theme, or who always got you excited, Linda, whenever you knew they were coming out by their music?
The two people were Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock.
Would that be Shattered Glass and Do You Smell What the Rock is Cooking?
Yeah, man. You know, the original is the best.
Yeah, yeah.
No
I'll
remixing,
give
no
you that.
nothing.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. For me, I'm an 80s child. For me, it always was, I am a real American. Hulk Hogan, man. You knew when he was coming, and if you did all the things he said, like drink your milk, take your vitamins, and all that, you knew Hogan was coming to hurt somebody.
Heck yeah, man.
Mm. Another one for me, Poppin' Circumstance,
Oh,
Macho Man Randy
yeah.
Savage.
Brandy, yeah, man.
Ooh, yeah. Feel the madness.
Well, another good one was The Undertaker. I loved Rest in Peace. That was my favorite.
Oh, the gong?
Yeah, the boom. And you knew immediately when that gong hit, everybody went so ghost. Like, they were like so shocked that the fact
You're
that
like,
he was going to pop up and say hi.
well, in the infamous words of the late great Roddy Piper, look at the size of that ham hock. Especially when he debuted at the Survivor Series in 1990.
Yeah, man. Well,
Another good one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I will say, though, Vince McMahon, even though he was the head of the industry for he was running this stuff, he had a killer intro. No chance in hell. I remember
No
that first time and hearing
chance.
that. I was just like, what the hell is that? I was like, who's
Well,
that? And then when he popped up, I was like, no, he's not going to wrestle. He's not going to show up. Oh, he's entering the ring. He's going to get his ass whooped. Oh, he did okay.
yeah. Another one for me, back in the 70s, believe it or not, Iron Man by Black Sabbath for the Road Warriors.
Oh, see, I never got the chance to see the 70s. Like, I stopped at the 80s because I really
Yeah.
didn't watch much like that.
Yeah, for me, when you hear that infamous guitar riff of dun, 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 you knew
I
the Road
was,
Warriors were
yeah.
coming.
But the thing was, is that's when they had, like, no care in the world and everybody wasn't copywriting everything or telling them they couldn't do
Oh,
it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, I'm gonna take you even further back, late 70s, early 80s. Bad Street. We're going to Bad Street, Atlanta, GA, the Freebirds.
Oh, okay. Did not know they had that
Yeah,
one either.
yeah. Bad Street for the Freebirds, as you know, was Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, Jimmy Jam Garvin, Rugged Ronnie Garvin, believe it or not, at one time. And whenever you heard Bad Street, you knew the Freebirds were coming.
Yeah, see, that's what I like about the old stuff now. You don't. don't get that anymore. Like when I used to watch the stuff in the late 80s, early 90s, all the way up until like 2000s, you knew who was going to show up. You knew, like, if Break It Down came up, you knew Generation X was going to show up. You knew one of them was going to be out there. And it was a surprise because it was a group of people, so you didn't know if it was going to be who it was. It was going to be Hulk or who it was, you know, like, you were hoping for something good. Like, you're like, is Shawn Michaels going to run out with Sexy Boy? Like, you don't know what was going to happen, but the minute you heard that song, you knew instantly that it was going to be something. I watched wrestling a while back, like a couple weeks ago, just to get ready for this, and I did not remember a damn thing because I was like, they're all the same. They sound the same. I was like, who's showing up now? I don't know. And everybody would just cheer for every single one because, hey, you didn't know which one was going to be.
Well, for me, as an 80s child, like I said, Hogan, Savage, even the great Jake Roberts with Snakebite.
Yeah.
If you remember that theme, that's iconic because of the fact he remixed it when he went heel and added the "Trust Me" to it and everything. And it's like you said, when it comes to wrestling themes today compared to what we had growing up as kids, yeah, some of the themes are cool in a way, but they don't give you that razzle dazzle of, oh my God, who's coming out next, or is this person a heel or is this person a face anymore? You know?
And they've gone through so many wrestlers now. It's ridiculous. Like,
Amen.
the roster changes so fast that I can't even get used to one of them. I remember I knew everybody's name. I knew Edge. I knew Rock. I knew Stone Cold. You knew the Hardy Boys. You knew every single person who was going to show up and who hated who. It was like a novella or a soap opera. You knew who hated who was against who teamed up at this week, and you were so gung-ho. Now, I do know, like, some of the people, I know what's going on, but if there's a storyline, it's like, they're all fighting. It's like, there used to be hilarious backstage shenanigans that we don't get anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I used to love seeing the backstage and seeing this China mad at, like, at, you know, like, Ed, and just, like, being like, screw you, Eggman Man. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. And I'm like, oh, snap. And you know it's fake now, but back in the day, you know that it was.
It felt like it was real, didn't it?
You thought that they were surprised behind the scenes, seeing an argument between the owner and the wrestler. Oh, snap. Oh, no. Oh, is she going to get fired today? And you didn't know that it was like staged and they were just ad-libbing, but it was so good just to see even the backstage a lot. And it's like, every now and they show a backstage, but it's like, we don't get it like we used to. We used to get weekly backstages. Like, they would set up a camera, like, they would angle it, and every wrestler got a backstage. It wasn't every day, it wasn't all the time, but it was like once, like, a week, you would get a backstage with somebody, and it would be hilarious. The one where he was, who was it? The wrestler that shaved his butt. I forgot the guy's name. Oh, man. I gotta look that up, but there was one time, I don't remember who it was, but one of the wrestlers was, like, shaving his butt in the back. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, that was the Revival.
Yeah.
Or now in AEW, the Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson.
I think so, yeah.
FTR
it was
now. FTR.
Yeah. It was so freaking hilarious to see him, like, ordering somebody around to do that, and then he pretended that he didn't see the camera, and all of a sudden he goes, what are you guys doing? And he, like, tells them to get out. Like, what is this is hilarious. Now we don't get the humor like we used to get. I mean, we used to get humor, we used to get laughter, we used to get fights, we used to get, like, even people would get hurt for real, and they would still play it off. Like, they didn't cut away. Like, they just went, oh, shoot, they're hurt. Okay, well, you just lay there. Don't move anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Back in the old Attitude Era, you can agree with me on this, Linda. The storylines in the Attitude Era were so edgy that sometimes it'd make you ask yourself, how did Vince McMahon get away with this? Or how did Vince get away with that?
Oh, yeah. And when the Goldberg era was going on, you're like, woo. Hogan, to be honest,
I'm going to be honest with you. Monday Night Wars, I flipped between both channels until the infamous Tony Schiavone announcing Mankind winning the WWF Championship at the time. Then I was done with WCW, but I would always go back and rewatch just to see what I missed, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of wrestling themes, what are your top 5 favorite WCW themes?
WCW. Oh
World
man.
Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, I don't. I gotta hold on. Let me see.
Uh-oh. She's got to do some research.
No one's. No, I'm not doing research, but I'm just saying. Like, I know Booker T was WCW, right?
Yes, he was.
He was one of them. He was one of my favorite. Like his theme song "Rap Sheet" was so fun. But
I loved his Harlem Heat theme with his brother Stevie Ray.
Yeah, because I didn't
Yes.
really watch WCW as much as I watched WWE, WWF. Like I used to watch that all the time. Every day it was on, we were watching it, and we had our wrestling buddies with us, and we would sit down, me and my brother, and just watch it from beginning to end. We didn't care if it was like 2 hours, 3 hours. We were watching it. And
you were glued to the TV,
yeah,
huh?
and we'd be like, oh snap! And then I remember my family members would come in and be like, oh, so he got kicked, and he's knocked out, but he got slammed 14 times, and he was okay then. I'm like, no, it's real.
This is real to me.
Yeah, man. But I do remember a lot of wrestlers bouncing back and forth because they get in trouble with Vince McMahon or somebody, you know, and they would fight. And I don't know what would happen, but then they would just end up at like some other wrestling organization. You're like, what happened to that person? You know what I mean? Like you would see and you're like, oh snap, the Hardy Boys got kicked out. What happened? Don't know.
Right.
There was a real fight that happened between somebody. And they didn't like it. Because Triple H, he's like head honcho now. When he started, he wasn't like that. It was crazy.
Well, speaking of Triple H, I never liked his Blue Blood character, as you know, and everything. Back to the question I asked you, I will give you my top 5.
Go for it, because that would be what I want to hear.
Believe it or not, C Murder and the NWO Wolfpack theme.
Oh, yeah, NWO, yeah.
Jailhouse, which was NWO Hollywood. Like I said, Harlem Heat with the yes, 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 no, no, no. I always thought that was cool. Believe it or not, these two men shared a theme at one time, and it's Raven and Chris Jericho with Even Flow by Pearl Jam.
Yes, I forgot about that.
I don't understand how they got that mixed up, but I always thought it was a cool theme. Goldberg is obvious, you know, that do, you know?
Yeah.
Another one I actually started liking after they gave it to him, Seek and Destroy by Metallica for Sting.
Oh, okay, yeah. There was a lot of good ones, man.
Oh, I agree with you on that. And there was some of them that are like, okay, what's the purpose of giving this theme to this person? Like, for instance, you remember the Nasty Boys, right?
Yeah, I remember them, yeah.
In WCW, supposedly they had their song Nasty Sensation. I'm sorry, but that is an original WWF theme before they jumped to WCW.
See, that's the problem is it was all blurred together. Every single wrestler knew another wrestler from another organization because he got kicked out. And it seemed like, it was kind of like how WWE, WWF was like the main event. Everybody wanted to go there. And then a lot of them just left because they hated it, you know? When you used to go to, because you were not the main event over there. You were like second fiddle when you were just starting out. When you go to like ECW, you're going to be paraded around. Everybody is equal. Like there's no like, oh, this is the person who's going to be the main event. It was like everybody was almost the main event. You were watching them from beginning to end the whole time.
Another one, if you think about it, Nirvana, Teen Spirit for Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, that was short-lived, but that was cool to see.
Hey, yo, It's me. It's me. It's DDP.
I know,
It,
like
it,
Rob Van Dam was at ECW, and he was
it,
bouncing around everywhere too.
Rob Van Dam, I loved his theme for ECW, Walk by Pantera.
Yeah,
That was one that always got me hyped to see him come out. Another one in ECW was Taz and his Survive If I Let You.
yeah, Taz was cool. I liked him. I also liked Mick Foley. Mick Foley was everywhere. He was so many characters. He changed like every 2 years. He was like a new character and a new theme
Yeah,
song, and it was so funny because when he first
yeah.
started out, he had a mask and he didn't have a mask. It was kind of like you know Undertaker, and it was kind of like unmask the person. Oh no, like you didn't know who they
Oh,
were
yeah.
because like most of the time it was like just a character, and then they was like, I'm tired of this character. I'm gonna be a new character. And if you're a main event person, you could change your character. If you were a second
Oh,
fiddle,
yeah.
you couldn't change your character. You had to get approval, and it was like, nope, you're done.
Okay. Next question I have for you is, can you tell me three themes that just make you giggle whenever you hear them?
Well, Mick Foley, all of his themes were hilarious. Like,
Especially Dude Love, right?
yeah, do love because the characters changed, and you're like, are you kidding me? Are you carrying me? No way. Terry Funk had a funny one too. Like he was his character and like everything
Oh,
he did.
Chainsaw Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. One more.
I don't know if I can say this, but balls
Mahoney?
Honey. I don't know how he got away with that name.
Hey, I like big balls.
Yeah, I was like, really? Really? Everybody's singing that song. It was like, ooh boy.
All right, for me, the top three funniest themes. No offense to Kip Sop, but his B.A. Billy Gunn Ass Man song, excuse my language, but that's the name of the song. It's called Ass Man.
Yeah, there was a couple songs that I'm like, I don't know how they made it on regular TV.
I have to agree with you, though, for Balls Mahoney.
Yeah.
And the last one that really made me giggle in a way, Doink the Clown.
Mhm.
His circus theme.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you a question. Who do you think was the
Or,
most underrated wrestler for like 80s, 90s, or early 2000s? One wrestler that you thought should have been like put up to the main card all the time.
can I break it down by years for you?
I don't care. I'm not gonna. I have my
Okay.
main that I thought should have been like always at the top.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Oh, also on this, can it be any promotion?
Don't care. You go for it.
Don't care.
It's wrestling general, so I don't care.
Okay. In the '80s, Virgil.
Yeah, I hear you on that one.
'90s, Blue Meanie. He makes me laugh. I'm sorry. I love the Blue Meanie. He made me laugh. 2000s. I thought Ultimo Dragon deserved better when he was in WWE. I'm starting with WWE F/E right now, and then I'm gonna go
Oh,
the
I
other
don't care. Mine are
promotions.
just in general. I'm not like being
You're
like.
not picky.
No,
You're
I'm not
not picky.
picky. No, I have a couple that I thought were like put to the side too early.
Yeah. Yeah. In WCW, I felt like they should have done more with Conan. I know he did NWO Hollywood, NWO Wolfpack. I read here recently that Conan was originally supposed to be the leader of the Latino World Order
Oh, okay.
before they gave that to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
I thought Conan would have been a great addition to that.
Yeah.
In ECW, I feel like they should have done a lot more with Lance Storm.
Oh, I was gonna say him. You got one of mine. Lance Storm was so underrated.
He got a bigger push in WCW than he ever got in WWE or ECW, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Winning those 3 titles right out of the gate
It
and
was
all that.
crazy. Like, he was so underrated. And also,
Oh
like,
yeah.
Dudley, the Dudley boys, man. They should have, like, I felt like they hit their peak and then all of a sudden they just fizzle out way too fast. They could have been utilized way more and they were just kicked to the curb.
Mhm.
You know, like, at some points it was like, oh my gosh, there's such a storyline for to have them there. And they were just
Oh yeah.
caught, like, okay, you guys are done. You're washed up. Bye. I was like, no, they're not. They are still wrestling at the top of their game. I still
And
see them wrestling.
what amazes me about the Dudley Boys, they are, if you think about it, a combined 25-time World Tag Team Champions, and no promotion just wants to just bring them in
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, they were just
But
every like a little filler tag team. That's it. I was like, why? Why are they a
but I
filler?
but I know now why they're not wrestling. Devon's got health issues.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying like
But back in the day, yeah,
they
I
were
see
still
your
at the peak of
point.
their point. Like they got kicked to the curb way too fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh, I'm gonna throw out a promotion for you. I want your top 2 favorite wrestlers from it. Ready?
Okay.
WWE, we already know Rock and Austin for you, right?
Yeah. Top.
NWA TNA / Impact / TNA Wrestling.
So wait, hold on. Okay, so NWA first,
No,
Impact.
it was under the NWA banner, but it's TNA Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Okay. TNA.
Hey, stop doing your research. You're supposed to know this stuff.
I'm not knowing this stuff. Hold on. You're asking me. I this is like 20 years, man, for some of this stuff.
Oh, I agree. Here, you want me to help kick it off for you?
Go ahead, you kick it off. Cause I'm being honest, TNA, I barely watched it. I know Hulk Hogan was there on that for like a brief
Yeah, he was
moment,
a.
but
Yeah.
other than that, I have no flipping idea.
For me, the best music that came out of TNA or Impact Wrestling for me, it's a tie at number 2 between America's Most Wanted and their theme, I Find the Defendant Guilty, and James Storm by himself with Sorry About Your Luck. And yes, I censored myself.
Well, I will say I remember Hulk Hogan and Sting were in there, and I love their themes. So that's would be hands down Sting.
Sting and Hogan.
Yeah, because for me, I'm old school. Like, it's very hard for me to get used to a new wrestler so easy. Because a lot of people these nowadays, they're so like pumping out so many wrestlers that it's like, oh, we got wrestlers from Japan flying into the USA. We got people from all over the world flying in so that they could have just whoever they need to for that time. And it's like, that's
Right.
cool and all, but it's like now I can't keep up with everybody. I just don't have the brain power to remember every single, but like all the names are just too much. And with
Yeah.
the music just being stagnant, it's like, okay, cool. I mean, you knew who they were from what region they were at because of the fact that, hello, there's the music.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Okay.
no.
WCW.
Well, WCW, I told you that one. I was another one I didn't watch very much. But, you know, I will say
You
Dudley.
said Booker.
Yep, I'll say Booker and I'll say Dudley. You know, because
The
classic.
the Dudley Boys were ECW.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused now.
That's why they call me the rowdy one.
Well, you
When
know what?
I ask the
I like,
questions, I change
okay.
the
I
answers.
remember Ric Flair was on there. So, Ric Flair.
All right, Booker and Rick.
Yeah. Well, and you
Okay.
know what? Let's throw in some Diamond Dallas Page, okay? I mean, why not?
Bang! All right, I'll give you that. For me, Flair, Hogan, all the main characters for WCW, hands down, are golden. Here's a theme I didn't think I would like till I fully found it. Brian Clark, Brian Adams, Chronic, and their theme, which was done by Static X. It was called Love Dump.
Don't remember that song at all.
Look it up. That's all I'm gonna say. It was also reused in WWE by Steven Richards with the "I'll show you, you'll see."
I'll have to look that one up for sure. Because
Yeah.
if it's Brian Clark, he was a beast back then.
Clark and Adams together just they gelled for
They were
me.
and they were so tall. You could just like see them walk into a room and everybody's just looking up.
They're like, "Oh crap, we're
Oh no,
gonna get our butts
we're looking
kicked."
up. This is not gonna be good. And it was actually
Yeah.
it was surprising to me, just like Big Show, like how they lifted Big Show up, and it was just like, how do you guys lift them up? Like I know they springboard themselves up to help the person out, but it was just like still
Yeah.
that was crazy to watch people pick up those big guys
Yeah.
and just like crush them onto the ground.
Yeah. Another theme for me, shockingly enough, most people will be surprised that I like this theme. It was after Kurt Hennig left the NWO and he formed the West Texas Rednecks with Bobby Duncombe Jr. and Barry and Kendall Windham. And
Yeah.
the theme is "Rap is Crap."
Mm, I'll give you that one. Okay.
Yeah. Even though I listen to rap music, don't get me wrong, that theme just makes me laugh every time I hear it. But in ECW, for me, it is Just Incredible's song "Snap Your Finger, Snap Your Neck" and Rob Van Dam's "Walk" by Pantera.
Okay.
Now we're into ECW territory.
ECW is still to me an underrated. Like it could have been really good if like they had better coverage on some of the stuff. You know what I mean?
Like pay-per-view coverage and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Like if they could have had a pay-per-view coverage, they could have like soared so like fast. You know, they had so many good themes too. Like this is extreme.
Yeah.
Come on. I remember that
Yeah.
one. That one pops it in my head, and I'm like, okay.
It's like, yeah, boy.
And that's the reason why I followed Booker everywhere. So that's the only reason why I don't remember very well, because I just watched his segment and then bounced. So if he was at the end of the night, I watched the whole thing. If it was like he was at the beginning just for a few minutes, I was out. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause you could see the roster of like who's gonna fight for that day, and I was like, okay, Booker's gonna be there. Okay. And that was the main reason why I stayed with Booker, Dudley, like Hardy Boys. You know, who's gonna
those.
Eddie Guerrero. I watched him a lot. It was one of those things where, you know, Chris Benoit, you knew who you were gonna get. You knew like their personalities. You knew who was the evil villain and who was the hero of the day. And sometimes it flip flopped. Sometimes it flip flopped, which was okay with me. I didn't mind it flip flopping. You know. Because they could act. No offense to a lot of the wrestlers nowadays, but they can't act.
That's true. That is true.
And I hate how and back in the day it was hard for me to see the signals. Now I could see the signals too much. I don't know if you can see it.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah, like
the
I can see
tapping of the hip.
Yes, I'm like, that's too much. You know what I mean? Like I know they're all about safety nowadays, but it's like you guys got to get a better communication on how you're going to signal. Even if you have to use the people who are announcing what's going on. Like, they used to do that like, everybody was a team. All the way down to some of the audience members were fake because they were helping out the show. And you didn't know that at the time.
Right.
But it was fun to watch back then because you barely saw the signals. They had good referees who knew how to, like, work the system, work everything, and were acting really, they were hilarious. Now it's like, okay, the ref needs to be fired. I've said that a couple times, and then the new modern, like, watching the wrestlers fight, and I'm like, dude, this guy's horrible. I remember watching one wrestler, and I'm not lying, use his arms as motions of, like, what they're doing. He didn't realize he was doing that, and I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? He's, like, showing, like, oh, now they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I'm like, are you kidding me? bro, it's I know it's not real, but damn, you're making it not fun to watch at all.
Yeah. And to elaborate on your point, Linda, today's wrestling product sucks. I'm sorry to say it. The only thing good in wrestling right now, and this is my honest opinion, is what's going on in AEW.
I
All
do
Elite
agree. And
Wrestling.
then is it ROX? I think.
You mean ROH?
Yeah, ROH. Sorry.
Ring of Honor.
Yes, Ring of
Ring of
Honor.
Honor.
That's another good one. That one I can watch, and I don't mind watching that one.
Right.
That one's okay with me. WWE is just like falling down, and I don't know what to do about it. I can't even watch it. It's like
They're like
I
they're
get
like a pirate with peg legs.
yeah, it's getting bad, bro. It's like I try to watch. Why is it 2 hours or more? Why? Why is Raw like 2 flipping hours of nothing?
Oh, speaking of underrated themes, Darren Drozdoff. You remember him? Draws?
No. What
Well,
what does his costume look like?
He was known as Road Warrior Puke in the Attitude Era. And then after the Road Warriors left for I think WCW again,
Mhm.
he
Did he
came
have
out
did he have
as
anything like makeup or anything like that? Did he do makeup or anything?
no, his gimmick changed from Road Warrior Puke to Draws, where he was a tattoo artist.
Oh, did he have shoulder pads?
Yeah,
Okay, I remember
he
this
had the
dude
shoulder
who was
pads
he had
when he
like
was
makeup on
Road
or
Warrior
tattoos.
Puke.
Like the minute you said tattoos, I was like, okay, I know that guy.
Well,
I remember draws.
Darren Drozdoff, that man had a promising career that was cut short due to a botched power bomb by D'Lo Brown
Yeah.
that paralyzed him.
Mhm.
And his theme sticks when he was doing the tattoo gimmick or the tattoo artist.
Well, I love the face paint on a lot of them. They had like a lot of face paint. It was
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. I remember the era of like tons and tons of face paint, and I didn't mind it as long as it wasn't like cheesy. But some of them were like, I'm just like, okay.
Another one that had great face paint, and he actually, at one time, I thought it was the real Gene Simmons, is Dale Torborg's Kiss Demon or the Demon.
Well, it was kind of like Sting, right? It was kind of like how Sting does his makeup, because Sting
In
was,
a
I think,
way,
it was inspired by Kiss a little bit.
it was more inspired by Kiss, yeah. With me, I'm into my Japanese wrestling. I love the Great Muta. And when they did the Dark Carnival that consisted of Great Muta, Demon, Vampiro, and the Insane Clown Posse, I
Yeah.
really thought I was going for a Dark Carnival ride.
Well, I will say one of the great female wrestlers right now for Ring of Honor is Sumi. Sumi is so good. Like,
Oh, Sumi Sakai?
yes.
I love Sumi.
Sumi
She's a
is it.
sweetheart.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's still good wrestlers to this day that bring it, that will do stuff that everybody's scared to do now. It's like she'll fly off of a ladder, land on a table. She'll do like that's what I miss from the 90s. I'm like, I want to see. I don't want people to get hurt, but I want to see something crazy. Even if the person catches her, I don't care. That's cool to see her fly from like high up and then jump down. And yeah, you still see the moment where it's like, okay, this so-and-so's waiting for the person to pick him up and slam him. Okay. But it's not as bad with Sumi. It's not as bad with the like some of the female wrestlers and some of the male wrestlers from Ring of Honor, because you're definitely gonna get that, you know.
Well,
And that's why I say, like, I miss the day and age where they went kamikaze but still held it to where they weren't gonna get hit and hurt. So
well, on that point, you're talking about the ladies of wrestling.
mhm.
Gotta give mad love to
Oh
China,
yeah.
Trish Stratus, Lita, Molly Holly, Gail Kim, Sumi Sakai,
Yeah, man.
Sarah Del Rey. if you remember her from Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
Sarah Logan, and all that. There has been so many female wrestlers that have revolutionized women's wrestling today that I feel like most wrestling fans have just go and go, how did this lady revolutionize this or that? Case in point, China.
She
She
wrestled
was the
only men. There
yeah,
was no female
she's
wrestlers.
right, and she is the only two-time female intercontinental champion.
Yeah. Her and Lita were one of the first to like be with somebody
Like,
and then work their way up to actually wrestling. They were like one of the first. Like her and Lita was just like crushing it. Her and China. Like you used to
mhm.
see them all the time. And they used to be eye candy at first and then now they're like, I don't care, I'm not gonna be eye candy anymore. I'm gonna go kick somebody. And they would actually go in there and slam a guy and then walk away. Start off
Well,
small.
another lady that deserves a lot of praise, Alondra Blaze.
Oh, I forgot about her. Yeah.
Bull Nakano.
Mhm.
Rhonda Singh, aka Bertha Faye.
Never actually watched any of her matches, really.
Oh, Rhonda Singh was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. These ladies are women's wrestlers today from going from eye candy to actually getting in the ring and saying, you know what? Slam me around, throw me around like a rag doll. Let's see what you got. And it's like that has faded away again in a way. Don't
Mhm.
get me wrong with what WWE's got going with people like Charlotte and Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and Bailey and Mandy Rose and all those is nice and all, but they're trying to put the women back on the outside as eye candy instead of letting them get in the ring, train themselves how to do this stuff, and actually get in there and kick butt too.
Yeah, that's why I watch Ring of Honor because I'm tired of just seeing people talk. When I watched WWE the other day, I was watching people talk. I'm like, I don't no offense. I don't mind, a good like grab the mic and let's get the crowd going and get everybody angry at so and so, but when it's like a half an hour to 45 minutes of you talking, I'm bored. I've changed the channel. I've moved on. Give me something else. And it's like I don't mind when the person comes in and kicks them and beats the crap out of them and walks away, but it doesn't need to take 30 minutes for you to ramble on, for you to get your ass beat. And that's why I
Well,
said I'm tired of filler. I'm tired of filler with a lot of the wrestling things that are going on this
right.
day. It's like, oh, we gotta pad it. We gotta add like we have a pay-per-view event for an hour, and we don't have all the wrestlers. Okay, let's just pad it. Okay, we're gonna talk. Let's interview.
Right. Right.
We never saw interviews with wrestlers at all, really, at all.
Not
Now,
during
like,
a pay per view during the Attitude Era, that's
no,
for daggum sure.
no. And now it's like I never in my life thought I would see so many freaking interviews slash talking segments.
Don't forget commercial breaks too.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's not even an hour technically.
All
Wow.
right, all right. Last topic, like I said, we're going to talk about wrestling toys and wrestling merchandise.
Yeah.
Linda, in all of your collecting days, all right, by percentage, what would you say is your collection of wrestling memorabilia?
Okay, so I did have the wrestling buddies at the time. I had Hulk Hogan and I had The Rock. I had a couple T-shirts of The Rock and Stone Cold, but I don't have them now because they don't fit me anymore. I was like younger back then. And I did have a couple of the figures. Of course, I had Rock, and I did have what was the ring, but it was secondhand. I found the ring, with the steel cage at
Mm-hmm.
like a yard sale. Somebody was getting rid of it, and now it's destroyed. It's like crushed. It's like nobody's playing with it anymore. It's probably in the trash somewhere. But that's pretty much it. Like I really didn't get memorabilia for that. it was barely anything because
So would you say it's about 25%?
yeah, about I would say because of the fact that they were kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that I
Right.
was getting, like I was getting cheaper figures from like Toys R Us and KB Toys.
Oh,
And
good place.
yeah, and that was back in the day. So whenever I wanted a figure, it took months to get it. So it was like, do I want a figure of a wrestler or do I want a figure of a childhood TV show that I'm watching that might not be there next year? Because I knew Rock was going to be there for a long time. And I had the
Yeah.
video games also. So it wasn't like I didn't just grab nothing. I had, PS1 and PS2 video games to play. So it wasn't like, it's either get the video game or the figure. I'll play the video game because I can listen to the entrances and I keep playing them over and over again and being whoever I
Right.
wanted to be. So I'd rather pick that. What about you?
You know me, Linda. I'm an avid wrestling fan, and I collect the figures, the DVDs, the shirts, and all that. So I'm gonna say about 85% of my stuff is wrestling related, due
Okay.
to the fact, like you said, I played the video games, I collected the figures. Like, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I have like Undertakers, I have Arn Anderson's, Edge, Jake Roberts,
Oh,
Dean
and
Ambrose, the
I had a
Wyatt
beach
family.
towel. I forgot about that. I had a beach towel of The Rock. My bad.
You
Sorry.
wanted The Rock to smell what you were cooking, eh, Linda?
And then also Stone Cold. My brother had one and I had one.
Cool.
It was like beach
Okay.
towels. But go on. I digress.
I ain't gonna lie. I've got the shirts. Heck, if the audience could see me now, I'm wearing my Texas Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin T-shirt for this podcast.
Does it have 316 on it?
No, on the back it says "Hell yeah,"
Oh, okay.
but you know what 316 means.
Yeah.
I've got the title belts. I've got the posters. I've got, like I said, the DVDs, the video games, the action figures. And to be honest with you, Linda, I miss the days when you'd go to, like you said, Toys R Us, KB Toys, Pomida, any place where you could get a cheap figure and it'd be like under $1.
Mhm.
Okay. And all that. But for me, I feel like today's wrestling collectors and all that do not realize the sentimental value of their collections anymore.
No. They don't even crack anything open anymore. They don't have them like laying like on the
Laying loose or
ring. Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
It's a lot of people just have them in, and which I don't care. I mean, it's your collection, your money. You do whatever you want to do, but it's like nobody's really playing
Yeah.
with the toys anymore. It's more just like, oh, this is gonna be worth $50 in 2 years. I'm gonna buy it in hopes
Well,
that it changes and goes up in price again and again.
well, what bothers me with most toy collectors of wrestling figures, case in point, may he rest in peace, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Mhm.
When he passed away, a buddy of mine and myself went to Amazon and we started looking just to see what was there for Mr. Wonderful. We checked Amazon, we checked eBay, we checked Wish. And these collectors are throwing away that collectible, but jacking up the price, expecting people to pay within the hundreds to thousands of dollars for it. And I just feel like, you idiots, you should keep this and let the value of it just keep going up instead of getting rid of it after that wrestler passes away.
Yeah, but the problem is everybody's here and now. Nobody's thinking about the future. Most
Right.
people are not thinking about, well, I might want this again someday. Like
Right.
when I sell stuff, I always make sure that I never want it again. Like I have books that I sold, I have games that I've sold, I have figures and, cards and stuff like that I've sold just because I was moving and I don't have the space. But I kept at
Right.
least one book of each collection and one card or cards and figures that I wanted. Everything else,
Right.
it went bye bye. And that's because I know that I had my memories and I had what I wanted, but I'm not going to go back and get it again. And if it's gifted to me, then it was meant to be come back, but it's not going to be me buying it again for the second time or third time. It's going to be me going, okay, I don't want it anymore. And I know somebody else will want it. So that's why I sell it or get rid of it to let the next person be able to experience what I experienced.
Well, I can understand that, but with me, I like the fact when it comes to the DVDs when they are talking about the territorial days, I use that as education for like, well, wow, JYD was in Mid South. I thought he was only in WWF at the time. Or the Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase, another Mid South guy. I like to use it as an educational tool down the line. If, let's say, hypothetically, I have kids, so I can educate them to see if it's something they're going to be interested in also.
I
If you get
gotcha.
where I'm going with that.
Yeah, I hear you. You want to
Uh,
pass it down to a next generation in your family.
right, right. And just see if it's something they're going to be into, and if they are, hey, something we can bond over. If not, okay, cool. Use it as an educational tool to say, hey, this was what I was into when I was your age. What are you into now? Type deal.
Yeah, and you look back and see all the good memories, like Bret
Right.
Hart, like you
Brett, Owen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody that passed away that you still have their stuff. You
Right.
remember them, everything that they did back in the day. And you're like, I could have sold that, but it's like, would I want to sell it? And that's what I always think about. You never know what's going to happen later on in life. You never know what's going to
Yeah.
be going on. And you might regret your decision, but it's like, you made a choice. And that's all we can do in life, make a choice.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank Linda, aka the Gamer Girl, again for stopping in and doing this podcast with me. Thank you so much for your time, Linda.
Yeah, man, it was fun to talk about the 90s and 80s and 70s.
Wrestling will always live in our hearts. Agreed.
I agree totally.
But with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in, listening, and subscribe to Linda at Linda, aka the Gamer Girl, on YouTube. Or what is your Twitch handle, madam?
It is Linda, aka The Game 1, and Bread Bagger Butter Bandit is the other for my Twitch, and YouTube is Linda, aka The Gamer Girl. And also, before we head out, Miss K, if you are listening, do not let the trolls win, my friend. We want you on
Yeah.
YouTube. We
Yes.
want you on YouTube. We don't care what they say. You will always be in the community, whether you choose to leave or stay.
And for that, Miss K, me and Linda both want to say we love you very much. You are just a part of this community as anyone else. And to the trolls out there, as I said before, you want to mess with my friends, come mess with me because it ain't going to be fun. But with that, I say good night, goodbye, oh,
Oh, peace,
and,
everybody.
and have a good day.